Welcome to RG.org. In this video, we're reviewing ComeOn, a legal online sportsbook available in Ontario. This is a full walk through the mobile experience, including betting features and more. ComeOn is licensed by both the Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario, the AGCO, and iGaming Ontario, the IGO, providing players with a more formal avenue to register complaints or issues they may be experiencing. In Ontario, you must be 19 or older to play. But with that, let's go ahead and discuss how to access ComeOn on mobile. So here we are. I'm on the mobile web browser. There is a mobile app available on the Apple App Store and Google Play. But for these purposes, I'm just going to be using the mobile web browser. But like I said, you can download those there. And as you can see, it works just as well. Like, you have the address bar down here. But if you scroll down, this kind of looks like a mobile app in and of it. You wouldn't know the difference, right? I mean, it just looks exactly the same. Everything's responsive and easy to use. But with that, here's how the sign-up process works on mobile. So you don't see a register button, but that's okay. You're going to go ahead here and click login, then open account. And then as you can see, there's multiple steps here. And with each step, you're just going to provide various bits of personal information. It's nothing that you haven't seen before at another Ontario sportsbook. You're going to put in your phone number, your email, your password, your name, your date of birth, your address, your occupation, all of those different things. It's just divided up differently than other sites that may have it on one form or 3 steps. Either way, it's all the same stuff. And then, of course, at the end, you're going to agree to the terms and conditions. So closing out of that, let's go over the sports and leagues that you can bet on here at ComeOn. So as you can see, we have this menu here along the top with all the different sports. You have the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, MLB. And you have more niche markets available as well, too. You can go ahead here and click Sports A to Z and see a complete list. You have things like biathlon. You have various esports. You got lacrosse, you got snooker, you got speedway, squash, water polo. There's a bunch of different stuff here that you can bet on. And of course, as far as like what ways you can bet on these, you have your money lines, your point spreads, your parlays, your totals, teasers, futures. There's just a bunch of different things that you can choose from. Just to show you an example here, we're on the American football page, and you can see there's a futures market up there. You also have money line, over-unders, point spreads. So you can go ahead here and go through all those. And then I'll go ahead here and just click on one of the games. And there's various props. You have player props, team props, game props. So a lot of different things that you can choose from. And then lastly, before we move on to live betting, you do see the decimal odds here, but you can quickly change this. You just scroll down a little bit, change it here to American or decimal, whichever you prefer. But like I said, let's take a look at the live betting section here on mobile. So radio on the bottom, we have this menu, click live. You're going to open this up. You're going to see, what sports are available. We'll just go ahead here and click. Let's go ahead and click basketball. Why not? So we have this game here. You can go to here and just click on whichever game you're interested in wagering on. Click on it. It'll open up. Took a little bit. It took a couple seconds there to load, but as you can see, you have kind of like this live tracker here, which shows you what's happening live in the game. Of course, we always recommend that you're actually watching the game when you do live betting, but if you can't, this acts as like a pretty good alternative because you have what's happening in the game live. You have stats and other things like that. And then if you scroll down, you can see the different markets that are available. So back at the homepage, let's talk about deposits and withdrawals here at ComeOn. So if you scroll down the bottom, you can kind of see which ones are available. You have Interac, Visa, MasterCard, much better. But then you also have, and I'll put this up on the screen here, I was talking to the live support, which I'll go over in the later section of this video. But you can withdraw also using Visa and MasterCard, much better, e-cash out. And then withdrawals are processed daily, and it takes up to 24 hours to check withdrawals from their end. So, and if you have any more questions, you can always reach out to them. But it's all really straightforward, and you can access the deposit page right after you log into your account. But before we get to the support, let's go over the responsible gambling tools and options here at ComeOn. So we're here at the bottom. You're going to go here and click Responsible Gaming. In full disclosure, I'm not sure why, but for whatever reason, on the mobile web browser, I was unable to access the page. I would click it, and it would just bring me right back to the homepage. So I will provide some screenshots of, while I'm recording this, in addition to my phone, I have the desktop open, so I will provide some screenshots of what's available. But what you'll see here, there's different tools that you can use to kind of make it, a more safer environment for you to be playing at ComeOn. So there's different things like deposit limits, timeouts, loss limits. You can take a self-test to see if you're maybe, in the midst of a gambling problem. There's also a self-exclusionary period and a reality check that'll let you know how long you've been playing. Next up, let's go ahead here and talk about customer support and how to reach support on mobile. So you might notice, and this actually took me a little bit to figure out, but if you scroll up and down here, there's no help button, right? You see like privacy policy, terms and conditions. And I actually kind of found this by accident. Of course, you do have like Facebook and Twitter right there, or X right there that you can click on, and you can, talk to their social media accounts. So that's all fine and well. But there's no immediate button for it. So where is it? Well, if you're on your mobile web browser, what you have to do, you just have to turn your phone. And it's right there in the upper right-hand corner. Support. Pretty funny, huh? So you go out here and click that. And then from there, this chatbot opens up. And I will say, this chatbot actually worked very well. It's very responsive. There's some things, like I was talking to it about deposit options, and it was kind of vague with that, but, things like the withdrawals I got right away. So it might depend on what your prompt is, but overall, I think it's a pretty good AI assistant chatbot. So back at the homepage, what do I think of ComeOn Sportsbook? So it's a little bit mixed, right? Because I really like the sports that are available here. There's obviously a bunch of different markets that are available, which I think is great. The chatbot, like I said, is pretty decent, all things considered. And I also like the live betting as well. You can, track the game live. And there's enough deposit and withdrawal options available that I think will cover most players. However, I don't like there's two things that I don't like. And one is that the responsible gambling, and I'll just show you right now while I'm talking about it. If you click responsible gaming right at the bottom to kind of look at these tools, it says, please wait. Okay. And then it loads up and it goes right back to the homepage. Of course, you don't want that, right? You want that to redirect to the actual page. And like I said, I'll provide screenshots of that from the desktop, but you shouldn't need to do that, right? Additionally, I do wish that there was a more noticeable support button. I get that some players may play like kind of, in this mode here, if they're playing like a slot or something like that, but we're talking about sports betting, so there's no need to ever turn your phone this way for sports betting, right? So having that support button just more noticeable when you have your phone oriented like this would be super helpful. So just some of my feedback there, but overall I do think ComeOn is going to be a fine sportsbook for you to choose and play at, but just make sure to keep those things in mind. But with that, for more brand reviews, visit rg.org for our full sportsbook coverage. Thank you so much.